welcome to the ITL. Well, if you haven't noticed earlier in the week, well, it was Wednesday. Yes, it was Wednesday. I put up my first, basically it was the face-on shot. The sub was out of the garage. It was actually in the bay right here. I kicked off the series about changing the rotor and rear brake pads on the the 2009 TLR 650, aka the GOAT. It was fun. It was fun. Actually, I mean, doing the job was not a big deal. I mean, it's easily done. But the fun part was actually doing the videos, trying to keep track of the cameras, running, recording, everything all combined. Then I ended up getting a phone call in the middle, but that's neither here or there. And so, I mean, it took a lot longer than really had to have. And I mean, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, this garage it doesn't hold its heat very well. See, right now, I'm actually sitting on the outside. This temperature is a balmy 26 degrees. 26. And it wasn't too much warmer inside this garage whenever I first came in. I mean, it was like 28 degrees whenever I first came in. Kicked on the torpedo heater for a little while. You can hear it click, digging in the background from it cooling down. I think does a really good job. It's loud, but it does a really good job. That's the kind of multi-fueled one. I actually have it in my videos. I think it was last wintertime or wintertime before that, and I actually got it going back then. Whenever I first bought it, it had I bought it used, and it had a couple issues, and I fixed the issues on it. And I mean, it still has a cork. It still has a cork on the thermostat. The thermostat is kind of wonky. I can kind of get it close, but it's not great. I'm planning on actually putting a wall thermostat on it with wires that I can just hook right into the thermostat wires onto it. That way, I'll have better control over it. Because I mean, it's not going anywhere but the garage as far as my plans go. And the way I'm going to wire it in is I can either use the thermostat that's on it, or bypass it and use a wall thermostat. That way, it'll go on and off, so I keep running and running. Because I've actually had it running in here, and it got hot. I mean, it got hot in here. So it's like, no, I ain't playing that game. Let's don't waste fuel. Even though it's a multi-fuel, I mean, it's still the fuel ain't cheap for it. And it doesn't use a lot of fuel unless you let it go off like that. But it's a good one. It really is. But to get back to track, ADD kicking in. But anyway, the GOAT's all done as far as the rear brakes go right now, and I chose to release the videos on that, the series videos, every Wednesday, and that is not to be any professional or anything. It's just basically out of common courtesy. I know this is there's 4 parts to it. I didn't want to really take anything from basically video block other channels, because I mean, it happens. I've actually video blocked myself before, and it doesn't. I don't mind it too much when it's myself, but I don't want to get the attention away. Say Suburban Rider with his TDD report, or even any of Tom's 8's videos. I mean, and I know he doesn't care, but it is. So I decided to go ahead and just release one at a time for 4 weeks, and then go ahead and it'll be done. And also, I didn't want to interfere with the TDD route. I mean, the I.T.L either. I mean, I just want to leave the things go, let everybody get their views, and be done. I mean, I don't want to hinder any of my friends. But that's the reason I'm doing that. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, but it is what it is, and it's my choice on that one. But I actually get back to the GOAT. I've always had troubles with the brake systems on the GOAT, and I mean that is, if you watch my videos, that is just a common thing, and you've heard me mention to it a lot through the last couple of years. And as far as the front really don't stick much anymore since I've reworked the caliper. I gotta rebuild it yet, and I know it needs rebuilt, but it doesn't really stick hardly at all. if it does at all. A lot of the dragging I found out was from the rear, which, if you watch, I have the information on the last video on the specs, what I found of the old rotor, and I'll tell you that the minimum thickness, it was about half the thickness of a minimum thickness recommended from Kawasaki, and I could see how that could cause problems because I mean they would work okay when you first put a new set of pads on, but as those pads wore in, then I'd start having problems and with dragging and stuff, and that could be just from the pistons extending out a little bit, quite further than a little bit further than they were initially intended to, and then also they have bad seals, you know, because I mean in the wintertime, I've found out with this, if I'm going to ride in the wintertime, every few years I'm going to end up have to probably rebuild the calipers. The seals just cannot handle the wintertime. So go ahead I'm doing that, but I think the pistons are going out a little bit too far and they're kind of cockeying themselves and kind of dragging and sticking on their own. Which, I mean, whenever the rotor's that thick, I can see it. I mean, it's that thin, I can really see it. So that is a problem of its own. So it was a really good idea to find that other rotor. I mean, I got a good price on that rear rotor on eBay, and it's actually really, really nice shape. The calipers, the brakes are not dragging anymore, and I mean, it's just not sticking, and it's doing the job. Hopefully that might have been the problem, but either way, I'm going to rebuild the calipers probably towards the end of the summertime, and that will basically end those issues. And the front rotor is actually in really, really good shape. I mic'd that out, and I can't remember the specs on it, but it's in really good shape still. And I mean, it's just a rocking bike, I think. Now I'm thinking I'm weeding down the problems and getting them fixed. I know and I'm not delusioned. I know there's going to be problems picking up here and there. I mean, it's a KLR 650. It goes through. It doesn't go through as much with me as it did the previous owner, but it's still. Even at my terms, I am not easy with it. I mean, I don't like to baby it. I mean, it was meant to be ridden a certain way, and I try to get it to that close as possible. But yeah, you got the weather in, the SUV's in, the goat's done as far as I'm concerned. We're waiting for the weather to straighten up. My alley is iced in. We got another snowstorm coming in here within the next few days. By the time this video is actually posted, it's probably here. Because I mean, it's you guys out west. You guys know the storm I'm talking about. And I mean, this is not a fun one. But this is wintertime. But I do have a meetup here. Hopefully we'll be able to make it over to the clubhouse in Ohio, the Buckeye Boys, at the end of July. I guess we've got set up with Suburban Riders coming down and Bob. Like, great. But I'm planning on being down there, and I'm going to try to talk to Dante Fox to be there if we can be. I know his life is a little bit hectic during that time. He's got other things going on. But I'm going to say, hey, come on down if you can. But have a group of us down there hanging out. I mean, we'll tear the place up. It's great. Looking forward to the summertime, can you tell? I did get my surprise in for the goat. I mentioned that a few videos ago. And I mean, it's not much of a surprise, but it really, to me, it fills a little niche. And it's not a necessary thing. But I mean, I think it looks decent on the dash of the goat. And I mean, it does a good job. And what I want to do, I'll go ahead and cut this here, and we'll go over to take a quick look at it and show it to you before I close this up. Okay, everybody. This is it right here. I mean, it's not really neat. It's not nearly needed at all. I mean, it's got the clock on it. It's got the two temperatures outside. It's built for inside of a car. But it also right here it has the voltmeter for your charging system. And if I can click it on here, it says 12.6 volts, 12.5. Kind of washes out a little bit on the rest on the screen, but we'll see a little bit here. You can push from blue to amber if you wanted to. I mean, you can find these on the internet all over the place. And actually, since I don't have my started the volts, I want to start it up and get the volts back up. But anyway, to me, this really just fills a little niche here. I'm going to be removing this Velcro right here off as it gets warmer, and all being held on with, and it's really held on there nice and tight. Suburban Rider gave me a word on this. It's a type of Velcro they use for easy passes in here around here in the United States. I don't know if they use them in other countries, but anyway, it's like a Velcro, but it has mushroom heads on it, plastic mushroom heads on both sides, and they click in and lock in together. I mean, they really hold. And I got a little bit on both sides holding it on. I mean, it's solid. Right now I have it hooked into the one power supply. I'm going to end up fixing that. It's over here, and basically setting it up so I still have the two power supplies set up for free for anything. But I mean, that's my little thing, and it really is nothing, but it's something for me. And I really think this is going to hold up for me. Does have a little speaker up here for some sound. That will be covered up, even though chances are it won't get wet. But I'm going to end up covering up with a little bit of black friction tape or something. I kind of like the blue for me. I can see it as far as the operator really well in the blue. I mean, it's something, but it's really nothing. I mean, I use the temperatures for things other than Polar Bear Challenge. And I mean, whenever I'm out and about, if I want to get a riding, I need a temperature. I got it right there. Which the outside temperature that's set up on the front on the front fender. The inside, of course, is this piece. But like I said, it really is nothing. But I ordered this end of November, and it came in about 2 weeks just a few weeks ago, actually. So I mean, I waited for this one coming from China, and this is the kind that a lot of them you got to watch. They don't switch from from Celsius to Fahrenheit. This one will. I got it set up for Fahrenheit right now. But I mean, it's just a cool little item to have on the dash, I think. Is it needed? No. If it ever gets broken, I don't care. I mean, it was cheap enough. I think I paid about $16 for this. I've seen other ones cheaper in the stores, but I mean, I bundled it in with a couple other orders and got a good deal on it. But this is MuzzleMike. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little red light saying the volts are a little low on it. But it has frost warning, so if it gets really cold, freezing roads warning. It gets kind of cold, it'll start beeping and say, "Hey, you'll have a good ice on it," and it'll actually go off if it gets a little too low, a little beeper for your charging. But let's close this out. This is MuzzleMike, hoping you all have a great day. Let's see you next week. Hope you all have a great week too also. Signing out, guys.